Shalom, TaNaKh Wisdom. Sacrifice. Sacrifice. There are two words that I want to speak about concerning sacrifice. One is zavach, zayin, vet, chet, and the function of that verb root is to nourish, slaughtering an animal for food, an act for a higher purpose. Okay, zavach. The other one is qarav, kof, resh, vet, qarav. The function of that verb root is to come close, draw near, be relative, a relative, that closeness. So, in zavach is the word for sacrifice in the first covenant. Whenever they had to atone for their sins, especially if blood was shed. If blood was, because without the shedding of blood, there is no covering, there is no atonement for sins. So, zavach was the one that you will offer up a sacrificial offering to be reunited with Yahweh, Elohim. Zavach. They had to do that every time they would transgress a commandment. There were various types, but I want to focus on the one where blood had to be shed to cover a certain transgression. That was the first covenant. The second covenant, after Yeshua became our Passover sacrifice. 1 Corinthians 5:7. Yeshua became our Passover sacrifice. He sacrificed himself. He committed an act for a higher purpose by giving his life, shedding his blood, so that we no longer have to offer up zavach. And because he did that, the sacrifice that he requires of us is qarav. To come near, to come close. Qarav, participial form, qarav. I got a buddy of mine, his name is qarav. It's a continual, constant drawing near to Yahweh. Come close. In James, he says, draw near to Yahweh and he will draw near to you. He wants us to be relative to him. He wants us to be his relative. So, first covenant, zavach, where you slaughter an animal and to nourish, to appease the powers that you serve. And second covenant, because the first covenant was fulfilled in Yeshua's ultimate sacrifice, releasing us from ever having to sacrifice an animal to cover our sins. He did it. So now the only sacrifice expected of us in the new covenant, if we're in Yeshua, is to come close, to draw near, and then he will draw near to us and be relative to us as we are relative to him. Praise Yahweh for that. Now, in 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 20, the scripture says, rather that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to demons and not to powers. Zavach. And I do not want you to have fellowship with demons. Now, the dragon, that serpent of old called the devil and Satan, who leads astray or deceives the whole world, is the one who took Yeshua on a high mountain and showed him all the beauty of the earth. And he said, if you bow down and worship me, I will give what was given to me by Adam in the garden. I will give it to you. if you bow down and worship me. And Yeshua said, bump you, Satan. We will worship only one power, and that's Yahweh Elohim, the Most High Power. But that dragon, that serpent of old called the devil and Satan, is still appealing to man with the same deal. And men are doing it. The engineers of this world, men, have submitted to that last temptation that was for the Messiah for themselves. They bowed down and worshipped Satan so that they can have wealth, status, and position over mankind. The engineers who set up governments and cities and administrations of managing men, they offered up sacrifices to Satan to receive those positions over men. Blood oath sacrifices. That's why we have wars. That's why we have missing children. That's why we have all kind of assassinations and stuff. A lot of them are blood oath sacrifices so that men can maintain the position that the adversary gave them in the world. In the world. But those of us who are in Yeshua and offer up the sacrifice of praise to Him, drawing near to Him, being close to Him, being a relative to Him, and the sacrifice is thanksgiving, Yada. I did an upload on that, whereby we surrender to Him by drawing near, lifting up our hands in surrender and thanksgiving for covering our sins and transgressions. In Him, we will be protected from those who offer up blood oath sacrifices to the enemy of our souls, the dragon, that serpent of old called the devil and Satan. What am I saying? We know in history men who have championed the cause of righteousness, of righting wrongs against humanity, trying to galvanize people and unify so that everyone can be free and equal in this pursuit of life and the fulfillment of purpose that Yahweh created us and entrusted to us. But they somehow always get taken down. Why? Because those in the world are being more faithful in offering sacrifices to their powers than we who have been transferred out of darkness into light, out of the world into His kingdom, have been faithful to our most high powers. So we have to change that narrative, because darkness cannot overtake light. We are the light of the world. So let's offer up the sacrifice that He requires of us, and that's come close to Him, draw near to Him, be a relative to Yahweh Elohei Sevaot, and we can change the narrative of the righteous being taken out by the wicked. In Yeshua's name, Shalom, TaNaKh Wisdom.